Tuesdays, 9 p.m. on TV 33. Join me, Barry Ross, on Mixing It Up. We'll feature informative community organizations that will offer solutions to Wayne County residents in reference to employment, safety, and security within neighborhoods, job training, education, and mentoring programs. Remember, Tuesdays, 9 p.m. Join me, Barry Ross, Mixing It Up on TV 33. Good evening, Detroit, Highland Park. Everybody that watches this station, we want to wish you a very, very happy holidays and good evening, and welcome to Mixing It Up, but not for long, because we're going into a new transition, a new format. This show is live. Live, you hear me? I'm live, you're looking at me live, and we're talking live on the one and only true community broadcasting station that broadcasts live TV, black-owned, in Detroit. R.J. Watkins owner, Henry Tyler, Hodo engineer, TV 33 WHPR. This station reports the truth as it's happening. What you see here, what you hear here, it isn't like conventional news. This is the real deal. Listen, we encourage you to call us tonight. I'm going to have an open mic in about a half an hour. All these numbers are 313-868-0342, 0351-4336. You can catch my show always on barryross.org. On my website, go to videos. You can go to YouTube, ROSS, B like boy, D like David, 51. And again tonight, I want to give a shout out to Naomi Williams. Sam Williams is the son that works at the Jewish Center in Oak Park. Naomi, hey, I know you watch the show all the time, and I was talking about you. I don't know how many Naomi Williams you think there are that got a son named Sam, but you're the only one that I know. And I love Sam, and I love your son, and he's a great man. Again, I want to wish everybody a happy holidays and be safe out there. Tonight we're going to do something a little different. And I also want you to stay tuned, because at 10 o'clock, about maybe 5 minutes after 10, my friend, Reverend Maya Reynolds, choreographer, dance instructor. She's a great dancer, teacher, community activist. She tells it like it is. She wants to wake you up. She wants to wake up Detroit. She's at Fellowship Chapel, and I love her, and she's on this show for another few weeks, and if I ever get another show, I'm going to have her on that as well. And by the way, I do have another show. It's Web TV on Wednesday nights, only online. itswebtv.com. Check this out, everybody. You know how we give advice. You know how you might have you're a woman, you have a lady friend that is in a bad relationship. You know, all she does is complain to you about her man, but she doesn't leave. Or you got a friend that uses drugs, and every time you lecture them, you feel like you're talking to the wind. Or you got a friend that's constantly overeating, not taking care of themselves, but they don't listen. This is for you. And what I have tonight is a great poem that I learned about 20 years ago, and I found it tonight. And this is for all of us that need others to watch the good that we do. That's how they change. You know the daddies out there, because my dad used to do this to me. You know, son, don't be like your daddy. You got no business doing this, man. My dad used drugs in front of me my whole life and told me not to do them. And, of course, I ended up doing them. Listen to this. This is composed by Edgar Guest. I'd rather see a sermon than hear one any day. I'd rather one should walk with me than merely tell the way. The eye's a better pupil and more willing than the ear. Fine counsel is confusing, but examples are always clear. And the very best of preachers are the men who live their creeds, for to see good put in action is what everybody needs. I can soon learn to do it if you'd let me see it done. You know, like those preachers just preaching and you know they're sinning. I can soon learn to do it if you let me see it done. I can watch your hands in action, but your tongue too fast may run. And the lecture you deliver may be very wise and true, but I'd rather get my lessons by observing what you do. I love this. I could almost cry. For I might misunderstand you and the fine advice you give, but there's no misunderstanding how you act and how you live. When I see a deed of kindness, I am eager to be kind. When a weaker brother stumbles and a stronger man stays behind, just to see if he can help him, then the wish grows strong in me, to become as big and thoughtful as I know that a friend to be. Boy, this is great. And all travelers can witness the best of guides today. It's not the one who tells them, but the one who shows the way. One good man teaches many. Men believe what they behold. One deed of kindness noticed is worth 40 that are told. Who stands with men of honor, learns to hold his honor dear, for right living speaks a language which to everyone is clear. Though an able speaker charms me with his eloquence, I say, I'd rather see a sermon than to hear one any day. Now, if that ain't deep, and I can get you copies, okay? All my life, I heard lectures from family members that just did the opposite thing that they were saying. Always trying to change me, but never implemented the changes that they needed to change in themselves. My good friend, as many of you know, Mr. Robert Robinson II from It Takes a Village, y'all. Check this out. He went in from a city council last week. These are questions that are going to be coming up in about a half an hour. My friend is going to be with me in a couple minutes, and I was hoping he was going to show tonight, and he sure did. Baba Victor Gibson, teacher, laureate, professor, is going to be with us in a couple minutes. But let me talk back about my friend Robert Robinson. He went to the city council meeting last week, and he said to the city council, we got to start making the banks accountable to these abandoned houses that they're not taking care of. The city of Chicago has raised hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars by levying these fees on these houses. And Ken Cockrell Jr., we found out, is going to research. There's supposed to be some kind of amended policy that we're going to try to enforce in the city of Detroit, and that would be wonderful. And I'm going to go to city council next week. And the men, women, whoever's stripping houses in a city, all over the city of Detroit, you know, they got to take these materials somewhere. So why don't we impose some kind of fine on these junkyards that are taking in scrap that looks like it's from these houses? You know, when a guy brings in a shopping cart with copper and aluminum siding and some sinks, they shouldn't even be allowed to take it in. And I think we could, if they had nowhere to take these properties that are, you know, that they get scrapped for, I think that would make a major difference. If any of you were watching Malik Shabazz's show tonight, our good friend Jack Rabbit, community activist, and I'm going to call him after the show, said that there's federal money, millions and millions of dollars that are available for the city of Detroit to get these tactical units, tactical mobile units, that could make a big difference in police enforcement ever since 9/11. So we want to find out about this. The city of Detroit needs to be on this. And you know, Malik's show was heavy. This young man that was on his show tonight could have been my baby son. The way he was talking about the lack of character, the lack of care for your concern in the city of Detroit and government by allowing the level of violence, murders, rape, that's put you in a position where you don't even care, that so much has been going on your streets for so long that you're tired. People have given up. And I was very impressed with them tonight, very impressed. And it's nice to know that we have another white brother out here that's caring and concerned. And Many times I have gone to the suburbs to try to get support for Detroit, and it's hard. And I don't even believe in this Occupy Detroit, and nothing personal, but I just want to know what they're all about and what they're doing. I'm going to tell you one more story before I get to my guest. I've had a friend of mine, a very important leader, an African-American friend of mine, and he wanted some particular tapes that I had, DVDs, and I met him over the weekend. I live in Royal Oak. I met him at a business, and he said to me, you know, I needed one DVD that you didn't give me. And I said, you know what, I live close by. He had never been to my home. And why don't you come by, I live 2 blocks away. And he came by my home, and I ran in my home, came downstairs. I have a condo. And we just started talking. I was standing outside of his car, right? And after 10 minutes, I asked him if I could sit in his car and we could talk. We were parked in the fire zone near my condo, and we talked for an hour and 20 minutes. And all of a sudden, a car with no lights on pulls in front of my car. Now, this was last Friday. Pulls directly in front of his car with their lights off, and he says, I'm not surprised. Well, it was the Royal Oak Police Department. One of my neighbors had called the police. I don't even know if they knew that I was out there or what was going on or he was black or not. And they shouldn't have called the police, but they did. But that's not even the point. Check this out. There were 2 cops. One goes to hit the driver's side. He was driving. This man is immaculate. He always looks like he just stepped out of the bathtub. He's always wearing a suit. So he was clean. He was respectful. So the cop goes to his side, the driver's side, and then my side. They asked each one of us for our ID, and we gave it to him willingly, no problem, and then our phone numbers. And after about 4 minutes, my cop gave me my license back, but his cop, and they were running neck and neck with the same questions, same amount of time. They both left my car and went back to their car, left my friend's car, went to their car and kept my friend's driver's license. They didn't keep mine. Now, he's black. And obviously, I'm thinking, had he been a white driver, would he have gotten a sentence? I was furious. I was embarrassed. For a man like this to even come to my home, number one, I got to tell you, is a miracle. And because he don't trust too many white folks for good reasons. But we're relatively close. And I'm going to write a letter to the Royal Oak commander and ask him if it's protocol. I was sitting in front of my own home. My driver's license reflected the address that was on top of my garage. My garage door was open. There was my car. They didn't need to know nothing else. It was my home. I was totally embarrassed. I got to tell you, I just the things that I'm learning about the police and government, what they're doing in the city of Detroit, it's appalling to me. It's a joke. Okay, right now, I just want you all to know, maybe you're aware of it or not, that the elections are going on for the teachers union, and they have to be, I think they're finalized by the 30th of this month, which is next Friday, I believe. I have with us tonight, who's been no stranger, I have Victor Gibson. Thank you. Come on up to the microphone, Victor.
Good.
Victor is a professor. Tell him what school, Victor.
Paul Robeson, Malcolm X Academy.
Paul Robeson,
Malcolm X.
Malcolm X Academy. I knew this. He's a great man, and he's been here before, but he's here out of a different nature tonight, and I just found out. I've never seen you without your glasses before, have I?
Well, I'm nearsighted, so when I'm close to people, I take them off because they're not bifocals.
Oh, okay.
And that keeps me
I just was asking.
going cockeyed when I look at people up close.
All right, I was just saying, how are you? How's your family?
Family's good. I'm fine.
Okay. School's getting out tomorrow, or it's out already?
Well, no, it's getting out tomorrow. We had our Caramel Feast today at our African Center schools. We have Caramel Feast. And so basically what it is, different rooms. Myself, I do a traditional pancake and turkey bacon, turkey product breakfast for my class, but it turns out to be for half the school. So I've been cooking pancakes all day, and
How many
exhausted.
pancakes did you make?
We
Thousands.
we made close to we fed about 200 students, the upper grades, and plus staff, and parents, whoever happened to be there that day. We just fed and we just ate and enjoyed the camaraderie of just a community come together, family come
Okay,
together.
very nice. Now, you've been teaching there for how long?
For 22 years.
22 years.
Yes.
You have some new aspirations, I guess.
Yes, I do.
Let's hear about them.
Well, I'm running for Detroit Federation of Teachers president this year. This is my second time I've run. Actually, it's my third time I've been running for the DFT office. I was successful the first year that we got into office with Keith Johnson, but since that time I've been running separately.
Okay.
We are now in the process of trying to determine which path the Detroit Federation of Teachers is going to go on and where we're going from here.
Tough times with everything going on with the Public Act 4 has been
Yes.
repealed.
Yes, we worked hard on that.
But the school board is being really intimidated by
Yes.
Roy Roberts by
Yes.
not giving them the ability to meet in the schools, and that they don't have. He has no jurisdiction,
Correct.
no
Correct.
power,
Correct.
no authority at all, and you can't tell him that. You know what I mean? It's like he's bullying them.
Well, it's like the pit bull that's allowed to run up and down the street. Even though the dog catchers have been sent out to bring him in, the ones who are in control of the dog catchers don't go out there to make sure they bring him in, and so he's basically still terrorizing the neighborhood, and that's what we're having here in this community. Our community is being bullied, and since bullying is now the national issue across the board, whether we keep it to young people, but we're not keeping it to where it really needs to be, as you alluded to earlier. There's a lot of political bullying coming on, and this is what we're seeing here in the Detroit Federation of Teachers. We're seeing the bullying tactics, and we're also seeing the idea that this is a state which is now taking an aggressive attack to limiting what African American men and African American people can learn in school, and we need to make sure that's up front. It's not just about how much teachers make, what kind of working conditions they're in. It's about the quality of people that we have to teach, and I think all that needs to be taken into the account when you're talking about educating people. We're not just factory workers putting widgets together. We're actually trying to create critical thinkers.
Thinking, if I may, going back to plantations, they wouldn't want the black man and woman to read,
Exactly.
to educate themselves.
Number one.
Worried that if they get a little knowledge, God
Exactly.
forbid what they might be able to do.
Exactly.
And now education is, most of the students are not getting a quality education. Even the students themselves know it.
Yes, they do.
Those that want to go to school. And I hear that, like, let's say that they have a board meeting set up for 6 o'clock. All the schools are closed. They are instructed not to let them in. So, I mean, this is what it's coming down to. The Detroit School Board cannot meet. Roy Roberts will not let them. I said, so let's sneak into school. That's another story. All right, so tell everybody what your agenda is and what you're doing to try to get people to vote for you, and how we can help, and what we might be able to do going forward.
Okay. Our agenda is simple. We are trying to break up this cronyism that's been set up by one slate controlling both the executive officers, which are about 4 of them, and there are 6 of them. And
Which offices in particular?
Okay, the Office of the President, 3 executive vice presidents.
President of the Teachers Union,
Detroit
everybody.
Federation Teachers, Local 2,
Okay.
231, a secretary and a treasurer. Those are executive officers. So we have the president, 3 vice president, treasurer, and a secretary.
Are you saying that right now that some of those offices are related to one another?
No, what I'm saying is that those positions, as well as the 11 exec board members, all come from one party.
Okay.
It is if Barack Obama has his executive officers and also the House the Congressional House.
But you mentioned cronyism. So
Cronyism.
where is the cronyism going?
The cronyism begins, and I can tell you emphatically that's where it starts. It begins when you are sitting in the exec board member meetings, and the president may suggest something, and it can be debated by one person. It can be challenged, but then what invariably happens, and people who are still on that slate are still finding out now, it wasn't just me, that the other 10 members will look at that member who's being difficult and vote him down. vote him or shout him down or just not let him speak or not even consider what some of the conversation should be about on critical things. And so that cronyism, that loyalty to the slave, that loyalty to the man is part of the problem where we don't get good movement. We don't have good dialogue. The information is being withheld.
Excuse me, not to interrupt you, but the president, Keith Johnson, how long has he been president? A long time, isn't it? 10 years?
No. He came in. We came into office originally in 2008. It's every 2 years we have elections. So 2008.
What was Keith's other position, though? He was wasn't he with the teachers' union?
Well,
in some other executive capacity.
Well, the 2 years prior to that, we had another changeover in leadership, and that was Virginia Cantrell, and United for Teachers Change was in there, and they kind of put him out. Now, prior to 2 years before that, when he was part of the UTR slate under Janet Garrison, he was the director of personnel in the DFT. He had not held, quote unquote, a leadership position. He wasn't an officer. He was just someone that, quite frankly, they put in the office to kind of pacify him under John Elliott, so he kind of kept a position as an office director, a manager of the building, curriculum, teacher liaison kind of position.
This is a paid position?
Originally, yes. He would be part of the paid officer's position of the DFT, office workers, labor relations representatives, our secretaries, our managers, our
Well, excuse me, what do you mean originally? Not now?
Well, right now he's paid because he's paid as a president. So the
That's what I
president
mean. Right now, the president's a paid position. Okay.
The president and the executive vice president are paid positions, and those two positions alone.
Are they a good paying position? Decent pay?
Well, let's just say those two positions bring in $250,000 in salary. There's $147,000 for the president, and approximately $119, $120 for the executive vice president.
Okay, now, I know we're going to get into this your aspect, but what I want to ask you is, where is the EAA figuring in with the teachers union? It's a teachers union of the DPS.
Yes.
Okay.
But
so these are Detroit School Teachers Union.
Yes, but the EAA is outside of DPS.
Right.
As far as the Federation of Teachers are concerned.
But we've lost a ton of teachers.
We've lost a ton of
400 teachers or more?
Well, let's just say we lost over a third of our membership since this whole financial crisis kicked in.
Union paying teachers.
Yes.
So the union is struggling.
Yes, but and let me say this. It's not that we're just a Detroit Federation Teachers Union for teachers. We also have ed techs, social workers, psychologists. These are also dues paying members. It should be Detroit Federation Teachers and support staff.
So if the school goes EAA, they're going to lose all those mediums.
They lose it all.
Okay.
They lose it all.
Take a few minutes and tell them your position on what you want to, what platform or where you want to go with this, in general.
Well, in general, what I'm proposing, and that's why I brought it to you earlier, that we would have a presidential debate, and that presidential debate would not just be limited to teachers. Even though only the teachers and support-related staff can vote, even you have to be a dues-paying member for 1 whole year prior to the voting. So, but I would like to see the stakeholders that are part of this, even though they can't vote, at least be aware of who is what and whom is being voted into office. And by that I mean the community. I think sometimes we leave out the feelings of the teachers, not just the teachers, but the parents who also have children in the schools. So we're looking at a debate to let the public know this is the kind of officer that is in charge of trying to create an environment where your children will come to school to learn. And in as much as the sellouts, in as much as I will go along because the powers that be are now the power, so let's just go along with the power mentality, we're trying to create for the public an idea to come in and look and see who exactly these people are who are help facilitating the critical thinkers that are in your homes. And that goes back to what you said earlier.
What are you saying? You're talking about going into this, or are you talking about ongoing? If you became president, you would open up, it would be more of an open door policy? You want to encourage people to come to the meetings, right? You have open meetings.
Yes, well, the open meetings are primarily just for Detroit Federation Teachers members. But
unlike the school board.
Unlike the school board. But why can't we also go back to what you alluded to earlier? Have community forums within each district. I mean, for example, there are some schools now that are pretty much off the chain. I mean, the turmoil that the children are creating, the stress in which teachers are being asked to teach these children. I mean, we need to kind of develop some kind of holistic way of all the stakeholders for a particular school to come together and let's say we're going to educate our children. Teachers, parents, we need you all to become one because these are the children that we're going to address. Teachers, you are the secondary teacher, but parents, you are the primary teachers. If we can get these two forces together, we can start eliminating the violence, the crime, the apathy that our children have.
I want to talk about the apathy and getting people on board, and I want to just tell you so you know. There's a Facebook page now, Detroit Public Schools Teachers and Families Demand Quality Education. Even when the school board has meetings, the public isn't aware of it. How do you know? They don't go on the news.
No, they don't.
Parents, and you know, I go to a lot of school board meetings, and I find that the attendance is deplorable. The lack of attendance, the lack of interest, and really, it's that both sides need to go into the community, address the parents directly and let them know they're having meetings and get them engaged and involved in their children's lives.
Well, what better vehicle than the Detroit Federation of Teachers? We are at the schools. We're at every community. There's not a community that we can't reach out and touch to, that we can't reach out and communicate with. We know there's a media control over things that gets out. Are you aware of this? The things that promote their particular issues, agendas, they're blasted all over. The things that really need to bring the community together, you don't hear anything about. We can be a vehicle. The Detroit Federation of Teachers can be a vehicle to do just that.
Whether you get a elected president or not, you know, you still can do this.
Yes, it makes it a little harder for the simple fact. Take, for instance, this whole campaigning idea. Now, those of us who are not on the current incumbent slate, we can't get out. We have to teach. I teach 6.5 hours, 7th and 8th grade social studies for 6.5 hours. I cannot leave my job to go campaigning, distributing literature and all, but yet the incumbent, since he's free of the classroom responsibilities, he shows up, or their people show up and plaster the whole community with their propaganda, I call it, but their agenda and their slate materials. We can't do that. So as far as how far we can reach out, can't do it if I'm doing double duty. It's a very difficult thing, and it needs to be done.
All right, listen, we want to, you and I had talked about the potential of having the other candidates on that are running for president. Yes. You're going to see if you can make that happen. I'm going to open up my show, give you the opportunity next Tuesday for a half-an-hour debate. If you can you need Keith here.
Yes.
Keith, and who's the other candidate?
Steve Cohen from Cass Tech High School.
Steve Cohen?
Cohen, C-O-N-N.
Steve Cohen.
Yes.
And what's their background? They've been teaching. I know who Keith is.
Okay.
Who's Steve Cohen?
Steve Cohen has been a member of our union for a long. He's always ran for president for the last 7 to 8, 9, 10 elections.
Okay.
He's from Cass Technical High School.
What does he teach?
I think he teaches math, but I'm not sure.
Okay. All right. So you have a couple days to find out if this can materialize, and I will help you.
Thank you.
And how do they vote for the president? How are ballots cast on this?
Well, this time it's going to be a little bit more controlled. Every teacher, as long as they have their correct address listed with the Federation of Teachers, they've been sending their ballots. So if you have not got your ballot yet, please call the Barbara Downing at Detroit Federation.
If you're a teacher.
If you're a teacher, or if you're part of our local 231. Remember, we're not just all teachers. We're ed techs. We are social workers. We are psychologists.
Tell them the name of this union again.
It's Barbara Downing. Her phone number is 875.
Barbara Downing is who?
She is the coordinator for the ballots that are being sent out. She's being the one that's coordinating the ballots.
Okay, you have to be in this particular union. What's the name of that union?
Detroit Federation Teachers Local 231.
Okay. And go ahead, give Barbara's phone number.
It's 875-3500. Please press 0. Otherwise, you have to go through the whole electronic placement, call who you want to direct. So press 0, go directly to the operator, and they will connect you to Barbara Downey.
Okay,
Yes.
wonderful. I'll talk to you over the next couple days.
Yes.
And I'm going to take a quick break if you'll stay, just until we take the break. And then I'm going to be back and I'm going to open up the mic. So thank you very much for coming.
Thank you for having me.
All right.
I appreciate
And this gentleman here is running for school board. And you're going to want to check the show out next week, and we might have a debate on this. He's running for president of the Teachers Union in Detroit. Okay, so we'll be right back. We're going to take a break. Thank you.
Thousand men's suits. And right now at Sermons, you can buy one and get 2 free. Not 1 suit, but 2 free. Buy 1 suit, bring 2 friends. Buy 1 suit, bring 2 relatives. Buy 1 suit, get 2 free. Bring your pastor, your boss, your teacher. Buy 1 suit and get 2 free. Sermons with 90 years of experience, carrying jeans, exotic skin shoes, sets, shirts, leathers, sweaters, everything for the well-dressed man. Buy 1 suit, get 2 free. Sermons on Randolph in downtown Detroit.
We interrupt this program to bring you a special bulletin.
Did you know that there are over 100,000 abandoned homes within the city of Detroit? If you are tired of abandoned dangerous houses in your neighborhood, please support the Greater Detroit Restoration Project.
Please make all checks and money orders payable to the Greater Detroit Restoration Project. The mailing address, 17301 Livernois, Suite 405, Detroit, Michigan, 48221.
All donations will help fund the expense of boarding up abandoned homes within the city of Detroit and Highland Park. For more information, contact Barry Ross at 248-417-9696 or Minister Malik Shabazz at 313-646-3375.
You are going to want to check me out first Wednesday of every month. Join me, Barry Ross, remixing it up. It's webtv.com. I'm going to be reporting to you the facts and the truth, the way our society is running in Metro Detroit. 8 p.m., bringing you featured guests in relation to community, education, violence, what's happening on the streets in our town. It's Web TV, Barry Ross, remixing it up. Wednesdays at 8 p.m., the first Wednesday of every month. Remember, remixing it up with Barry Ross on itswebtv.com.
Hey, come on. Man, what is taking so long? Let's play.
Just getting a number.
Whose number?
Narcotics Anonymous.
Hey, if you need to talk.
No way, it's not for me, it's for my brother. He's constantly wasted. Come on, hoop time. Can you tell me about NA?
Call Narcotics Anonymous. We can help you.
The following program does not reflect the views and opinions of Channel 33, its management, or sponsors.
My man. Welcome back, live to Mixing It Up. My name is Barry Ross. This show's dedicated for the second week in a row to Naomi Williams. Naomi, how are you? I'm getting you at this show one day, and I hear you like my hair, Naomi. It's my own hair. Right now, you're going to hear a cut from a local singer. He's been around for quite a while. His name is Andrew Jones. And if you like this cut, when we come back, I'm going to tell you how you can buy it, and you're going to like it. And right now, we're going to hear this cut from Andrew Jones. Here it is. This guy's so excited. I'm playing.
When I was out in the world, Satan was my boss. After 35, 40 years, it wasn't nothing but a cost and a loss. I done lost everything, my house, my car, and my job. I even had to walk to the pawn shop and pawn my diamond ring. So I hope that you don't mind if I ask you one more time. Come on, my Jesus, walk with me through the storm. I need you. me. Sometimes I feel alone. Come on, my Jesus, walk with me through the storm. I need you to walk with me, 'cause I feel so all alone. I remember one time waking up in a hospital room. Oh, my Jesus, filled with doctors and nurses and doom and gloom. Oh, my Father, I screamed out your name. Father, I called on you, and you walked me out of that hospital just like I knew you would do. So I hope that you don't mind if I ask you one more time. Come on, my Jesus, walk with me through the storm. I need you to walk with me. Sometimes I feel alone. Come on, my Jesus, walk with me through the storm. I need you to walk with me. Sometimes I feel alone. I guess I'm gonna have to be like Joe. I'm gonna take what I got to take. But I ain't gonna let nothing take my faith. I know it's gonna get rough, and I know it's gonna get tough. That's why I hope that you don't mind if I ask you one more time. Come on and let me put your hand in my hand and just walk me. Come on and let me put my hand in your hand and just walk me. Let me put my hand in your hand and just walk me. Oh, you put my hand in your hand. Oh, my Jesus. Well, let me put my hand in your hand. Oh, my Jesus. I ain't doing nothing right with my life. No, I'm just going backwards. 3 steps up, 4 steps back. Oh, my Jesus. Jesus, got my path, got my path, got my path, got my path. Thank you, Jesus.
You heard it here. That's an exclusive by Andrew Jones. Andrew Jones, everybody. You're going to hear more of him. He's an up-and-coming, great gospel singer in Detroit. Jesus, walk with me, Andrew Jones. If you like it, if you've ever lost it, I've been homeless. I was down and out. I lost it all. Oh, you hear me? I couldn't even buy a pack of cigarettes. I couldn't even get a joint. I was down and out, man. I had nowhere to live. And Jesus Walk With Me by Andrew Jones. You keep playing this, it's going to uplift you. Because he's come back, I come back. All my friends were on the other side. You want to buy this cut? Andrew Jones has got it for you. 313-854-5386. I'm not going to have this available here at the station. You got to call Drew Jones. 854-5386. Andrew, answer that phone when it rings. Everybody, welcome back. I got an open mic right now, and I'm going to open it up for questions and answers tonight. And I'm going to take a call right here. I'll be right back. Good evening. You're on the air.
Hi, Barry.
Hello.
How are you?
Good evening. Do I know you?
Oh, you might.
Okay. Go ahead. What you got for us?
This is Sister Akila.
Hi, Sister Akila. How are you?
Yes, good. I really enjoyed that cut.
Okay.
I really enjoyed it.
It's available. It's available if you want to buy it. Andrew's listening to the show. He can make you a cut. It's called Jesus Walk With Me. You want his number, Akila?
Yeah, I don't.
Or I can get it for you, Akila. If you want it, I can work it out. I'll take care of you on that. You know that.
Oh, well, I want that.
All right, Andrew, you had a call, Andrew. You got to take her. She's a good friend of mine.
You can play it again, too, Barry.
Pardon me?
You can play it again.
I don't know if I'll be able to, but I'm going to get you a copy. Andrew, we got a repeat, Andrew. Akila?
Yes.
I want to take your, it's a public show, but it's a family show. I want to take Nigel to the Thanksgiving Day parade, Akila. Will you see if you can make that happen?
Yes, I will.
All right, you'll let me know tomorrow.
Yes, I will.
All right, everything else okay?
Fine.
I wish you a safe and a happy holidays for you and your family, and I hope that the future provides you with prosperity and happiness and health for yourself and everybody in the home. And I love you.
I accept, Brother Barry, and the same to WHPR family and to you as well.
Thank you very much. So I'll take care of you on this. I'll get you a cut.
All right. Thank you so much.
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Peace.
Good evening. You're with Barry Ross of Mixing It Up. How can I help you?
How you doing this evening, Mr. Ross?
Yes, how are you?
I have a question.
Sure.
I would like to know if anyone listening is aware of the type of flyers that are circulating in stores and gas stations of young women dancing at a lot of the bars that our city council was supposed to be regulating. Now, I work in the morning, and I do run across a lot of school children with their parents, and a lot of these stores and gas stations are allowing these flyers with women wearing, you know, the type of outfits that they wear when they're working at these bars. Now, I've traveled. I've been to a lot of places with red light districts, and never have I seen children being able to be exposed to the type of material that's geared, that's steered towards single men of leisure. Now, I grew up in Detroit, born in '72, and never in my life have I seen any of these type of things as I was growing up until the city of Detroit allowed some type of ordinance where these type of flyers can be circulated. Now, if you go to Las Vegas, they're only regulated to the Strip. If you go to Tijuana, they're only regulated to the Strip. If you go to somewhere like Amsterdam, they're only regulated to the Strip. When is it regulated to be allowed for our young black and white and Latino and Arabic children to see this in the stores early in the morning? I would just like to know, is there some type of action geared towards finding out if this is allowed? Because if it's not, if the city is broke, where there is something that's not just morally going wrong, but something that the city can make a profit. Let's just say the street term, if I was to use some slang, legalize extortion. If you're going to allow this in your gas station and in your store, then you're going to be fined and you're going to pay the city, and the city has just created a revenue of money because of there is moral codes being broken so that our children are seeing. And I would just like to know, does anybody know if there's an ordinance or, you know, if this
Thank you.
is
Thank you very much
legal?
for your call. I just want to tell you a couple of things. Number one, if there is an ordinance, enforcing it in all the stores is going to be a whole other issue. To get the Detroit Police Department to come out for a murder is a miracle, let alone to come out and confiscate, you know, pornographic literature. But I think I'm going to go to City Council next week. I have 3 issues to bring up to City Council, and I don't know if you can come with me. I'd be happy to go with you, and we can bring this up. But and the second thing I was going to say is we can do protests at any store that has them, and believe me, they wouldn't want to see 10 or 15 people making a lot of noise about pornographic literature in front of their gas station that would deter people from shopping there. You with me? If you're still there?
Yes, I am, sir. Actually, I'm getting a pen and paper to get some information because I became a social entrepreneur. And a social entrepreneur is someone who's in the business of helping social needs in the world. We have a social problem here in the city of Detroit.
We have a moral problem, social problem, a violence problem, an unemployment problem. But listen, take my number real quick, and I'm gonna let you go. Okay?
Okay, sir. I have my pen with ink ready.
248.
248.
417-9696.
417.
96.
And the last 4?
9696.
9696.
Call me tomorrow after 12 p.m. in the afternoon, and wherever I'm at, I should be able to talk to you. If
And
not, leave a message. If not, leave a message with who you are, and I'll return the call promptly.
And thank you, sir.
You got it. Everybody needs to know that we don't always have to depend on government or the police to take action in our own communities. We can take care of the problems that we have in a nonviolent manner by joining together. Now, I have been saying this. I have been on a soapbox about getting people to stand up in the community for over 2 years now. And I will continue. I know you're hurt. I know you're tired. I know you have lost your faith, your trust in the leadership, and you should. But you don't have to lose your faith and trust in the people that are doing something about it. And if you see that people are standing up and continuously doing the right thing, I would think you could start to trust those people. I'm going to reread the first couple lines of this sonnet. It's so apropos to what I just said. I'd rather see a sermon than to hear one any day. I'd rather one should walk with me than merely tell the way. The eye's a better pupil and more willing than the ear. Fine counsel is confusing, but examples are always clear. And the best of preachers are the men who live their creeds. For to see good put in action is what everybody needs. I can soon learn to do it if you'd let me see it done. So the dads out there that are telling their sons not to use dope as they're shoveling up their nose and saying, don't be like me, that's a pretty hard message for them to understand what you're saying. So when you do good or you do bad, that's what we see. We read what we see, not what we hear. We should be tired of the broken promises and the lies and the deceit that we're being fed. Watch that someone's behavior is matching to what they say. Then you can follow them. You can see me. I don't ever say something that I wouldn't do. I don't ever ask you to get in your community because I've gone in abandoned houses. I go out in alleys. I personally have boarded up houses. I have gone out for rapists with other groups and murderers. So I wouldn't say, I'm not just sitting here. I know it's hard to do, but I've done it, and if I can do it, who the hell am I? We're all the same. We all bleed red, man. So I can soon learn to do it if you'd let me see it done. These are the people that you can follow. Watch that people's behavior matches what they say. Okay? I have another call. Hi, you're on the air. How are you?
Hello?
Hello?
Yes, this is the TV station.
Yeah, you're on someone's TV show.
Yeah, Barry?
Yes.
Hey, Barry, one thing that I respect you, you're beautiful.
I can't hear you. I'm sorry. Go on.
Yeah, okay. I'm trying to get everything straight. But anything, Barry, I respect you. You've been there forever for the city of Detroit, you, your family, and everything else in the community. And I stand behind you, and I respect you even more. And that's all I just called in to give you a vote of confidence that, hey, brother, we still behind you. We could see you from 1967. I was here in 1967. A lot of them wasn't here in 1967. But I was here in 1967.
I was working downtown Detroit in 1963. I started working in the African American community when I was 11. That's 50 years ago. I appreciate the call. I know you?
Right. You know me very well when you see me.
All right. You care to tell me who you are, or you want to keep it a secret?
Well, no, it's not a secret. My name is Gerald Brantley, and I deal with your company for years, and before some of the others. I don't want to give you your competition across the street, a flyer or whatever it is.
Hot Sam's or the Broadway?
Yeah, Broadway, yeah.
We don't have competition.
They call it Funky Broadway.
Let me just tell you. Let me just tell you that's the unfortunate thing. We need competition today. We embrace competition. that we need other businesses to play off one another. That brings more people to an area.
Right.
We used to have 30 stores downtown Detroit. We got 4 now.
Right.
All right. I appreciate you very much. Thank you for the call.
Yeah, Barry. And I came in to bring you some business a few months ago, and I'm gonna bring you in something for the holiday.
Bring it to my brother, because I've left.
You done left? Oh, okay.
I done left. I done left.
I recognize your brother too.
Yep. Okay. That's my brother Stephen. Take it to him, because I don't know of anybody else that's still serving a community after 95 years, like Sermons.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We're gonna stick with you, Barry.
We need to stick together.
That's what I'm saying.
It's not about me.
We're going to stick together.
We need to get other people and all people to come out to the community. You know, yesterday morning, there was supposed to be an organized march on Detroit at City County Building.
Right.
And I was so excited. And I got down to City County Building, and nobody was there. So I called up what I thought was the organizer, and he wasn't even there yet. And
he wasn't there.
He wasn't even there. And, you know, I am appalled how much, you know, if you were in a fight.
Well, I'm going to say something like, you know, I'm excited that the president won the election. And I was so excited that I seen so many young people down there. And they don't dress like we dress when I come down there to see you, what I want to have, how my suits look coming from your place and everything. But I have no problem with that. But I was excited to see that many young people there to represent us, and we got to just change something, Barry, to bring them forth, like Paula Cunningham and Eleanor Jessitis and different people that was in our community that brought things forth and stuff like that. But we're gone, Barry.
Thank you.
And I appreciate you taking my call, and I'm going to be down there to talk to you. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, thank you, sir.
Good evening. You're on the air. How are you?
All right.
You're all right?
Who am I speaking to?
You're speaking to my mama's baby son.
I want to get through to Barry.
You're speaking to him. Andrew?
Hey, this is Andrew, man.
Andrew? Leave me alone,
Yeah.
Andrew. Andrew, I got calls for you, Andrew. Let's talk tomorrow.
Okay.
All right?
All right.
Did you see I had a couple calls? One lady asked me to repeat it. So make a couple extra copies, Andrew. Okay. You heard the song Jesus Walk With Me by Andrew Jones. And I know God walks with me because where I've come from, you know, I was in 3 motorcycle accidents. I was in Jamaica in 1977. Motorcycle. I jumped off a motorcycle on a mountain road, and it kept going, and it bounced back, and the handlebars knocked my right eye in the middle of my head. I had 30 eye operations. I was operating in Jamaica, France, New York. I ain't supposed to be here. I was on drugs for 25 years. So I know there's some reason I'm supposed to be here, and I'm going to tell you right now, it's you, Detroit. It's you, and I hate to sound corny like 50 cents or I'm going to die trying. I can't promise you how long I'm going to be here. I'm not taking great care of myself, but you need to start showing me that you want to start standing up for yourself. You know, I don't know how much longer. Here's what I was going to say. If you were in a fight and you were getting your you-know-what kicked, are you telling me you wouldn't get back up? Tell me you would not get back. Could you see going down the street and someone attacking you, not with a gun or weapon, and fighting you and beating you, and you didn't try to defend yourself, even if you could fight or not fight? I mean, maybe you'd run. But if you chose to stay in that fight, are you going to get back up? How long are you going to let them beat you down? Have some kind of intestinal fortitude. Find some courage within you. You know, I got to tell you, I'm afraid, and I say this all the time. Have you ever talked to a soldier that was in a war, and if he tells you he was not afraid of the enemy, I'm going to tell you something. He's a fool. You should be. But that doesn't mean you have to let your fear control you. I don't know if you all know this. Johnny Carson, the great Johnny Carson, had stage fright. Every night before Johnny Carson came on, he almost boo-booed on himself. You hear me? But he did it. I'm afraid before I come on the camera. When I go on the streets and I go in alleys, I'm afraid. But my concern for making a difference, my passion, leads me to go beyond my fear. Try this on. Here's a man that's a hero. Here's a man that's a coward. They both feel the same thing inside. The only difference is the hero don't let it control him. You don't have to let your mind dictate how you have to live your life. You don't have to let others dictate to you after you have to live your life. You have to dictate to yourself how to live your life. There's a saying, you can't think your way into good living. You have to live your way into good thinking. So what that means is you do the right thing with your behavior, eventually your thoughts can change. You can change your mindset by doing the right thing or the wrong thing. You know, when I went into recovery off drugs, they taught, you know how you not give in to your urges? You don't listen to this. Every time your mind tells you something, that don't mean you have to listen to it. That don't mean you have to follow your thoughts. Hey, man, I'm driving down the street, and it Brinks truck's in front of me, and the money starts falling out in front of my car. That don't mean I got to go pick it up. That don't mean I got to take the truck out. I drive by a bank. That doesn't mean I got to go rob the bank. We all are faced with choices every day. We have a choice as to how we want to live our life. No one can take that choice away. You do not have to go to prison to be in prison. You think you got to be a slave in a certain mentality? You can enslave your own life by falling prey to your mind or being a sheep. They want you to be a sheep in the city of Detroit. Look what they've done. Look what they've done. Look what the rich have done. You're beaten down. You're hurt beyond a point where you can't even get up and help the lady next door to you. She got raped. You can't call the police. You didn't see nothing. My God. We got a couple more minutes. I want to reread. I'm going to reread a couple of this paragraph again because this is so good. This is written by Edgar Guest. 25 years ago, this was read to me, and I lost it, and I found it online. I'd rather see a sermon than to hear one any day. I'd rather one should walk with me than merely tell the way. The eye is a better pupil and more willing than the ear. Fine counsel is confusing, but examples are clear, and the very best of all the preachers are the men who live their creeds. For to see good put in action is what we all need. This is my favorite line, I soon can learn to do it if you'd let me see it done. Daddy, tell me I can do this by showing me, Dad. Show me. Don't just tell me. I can watch your hands in motion, but your tongue too fast. You know, people talking a lot of stuff and they ain't doing nothing. You know who those people are. The lady that's telling you, your girlfriend telling you to get rid of your man, and she's sleeping with all the other men, giving you advice. I love it. And the lecture you deliver may be very wise and true, but I'd rather get my lessons by observing what you do. Watch others make the mistakes. Then you know. You don't have to do it. Look at all those texts that they were sending nowadays. Be careful what you do. Be smart. Think before you act. My brother says, always think after, before. Think about the consequences before. These young guys out on the street, they ain't thinking about they don't care about the consequences. That's another issue. For I might have misunderstood you in the high advice you give, but there's no misunderstanding how you act and how you live. That's pretty simple, isn't it? When I see a deed of kindness, I'm eager to be kind. You know, I didn't know how to be good until I saw others doing it. It makes me feel good. You know, when I'm really, really down, you know how I get out of this? I go do something for somebody else. Do something nice for somebody. Get out of your world. You know, you're depressed, you're in the house, you ain't got a job, you ain't got no money. So what? Go do something nice for someone on your street. So when a deed of kindness, I see it, I'm eager to be kind. When a weaker brother stumbles and a stronger man stays behind. You know, when I had my marches on the streets for murders from Detroit Coalition Against Violence, I always watched out for the people in the rear. I stayed in the street to make sure everybody was safe. It's my organization. I want to make sure it's going down right. So watch out for everybody else. To be big and thoughtful as I know them, friend to be, and all travelers can witness that the best of guides today. It's not the one who tells them, but the one who shows the way. One good man's teachings many. Men believe what they behold. One deed of kindness noticed is worth 40 that are told. Who stands with men of honor learns to hold his honor dear, for right living speaks a language which to everyone is clear. Though an able speaker charms me with his eloquence, I say, it ain't what they say. I'd rather see a sermon than to hear one any day. I love that. I just read it to you twice tonight. I'm going to read it before I go to bed. We're going to take a break, and I'm going to have Mrs. Maiwa, Reverend Maiwa Reynolds, and she's going to bedazzle you tonight with her holiday spirit. And by the way, I just want to say, you have a safe holiday. Don't eat too much. Don't drink too much. And be with the family and love everybody. So I'll see everybody next week, and I love you all. So we're going to take a break. I'll be right back. Wednesdays, 9 p.m. on TV 33. Join me, Barry Ross, on Mixing It Up. We'll feature informative community organizations that will offer solutions to Wayne County residents in reference to employment, safety, and security within neighborhoods, job training, education, and mentoring programs. Remember, Tuesdays, 9 p.m. Join me, Barry Ross, Mixing It Up on TV 33.
1,000 men's suits. And right now at Sermons, you can buy one and get two free. Not one suit, but two free. Buy one suit, bring two friends. Buy one suit, bring two relatives. Buy one suit, get two free. Bring your pastor, your boss, your teacher. Buy one suit and get two free. Sermons with 90 years of experience, carrying jeans, exotic skin shoes, sets, shirts, leathers, sweaters, everything for the well-dressed man. Buy one suit, get two free. Sermons on Randolph in downtown Detroit.
We interrupt this program to bring you a special bulletin.
Did you know that there are over 100,000 abandoned homes within the city of Detroit? If you are tired of abandoned dangerous houses in your neighborhood, please support the Greater Detroit Restoration Project.
Please make all checks and money orders payable to the Greater Detroit Restoration Project. The mailing address, 17301 Livernois, Suite 405, Detroit, Michigan, 48221.
All donations will help fund the expense of boarding up abandoned homes within the city of Detroit and Highland Park. For more information, contact Barry Ross at 248-417-9696 or Minister Malik Shabazz at 313-646-3375.
You are going to want to check me out first Wednesday of every month. Join me, Barry Ross, remixing it up. It's webtv.com. I'm going to be reporting to you the facts and the truth, the way our society is run in Metro Detroit. 8 p.m., bringing you featured guests in relation to community, education, violence, what's happening on the streets in our town. It's Web TV, Barry Ross, remixing it up. Wednesdays at 8 p.m., the first Wednesday of every month. Remember, remixing it up with Barry Ross on itswebtv.com.
Hey, come on. Man, what is taking so long? Let's play.
Just get a number.
Whose number?
Narcotics Anonymous.
Hey, if you need to talk.
No way, it's not for me, it's for my brother. He's constantly wasted. Come on, hoop time. Can you tell me about NA?
Call Narcotics Anonymous. We can help you.
You're watching TV 33 WHPR, Detroit, Highland Park. Oh, give thanks. Yes, we give thanks today. First of all, I want to give thanks for this opportunity to my brother, Barry Ross, for this opportunity, for this partnership, for my family, for a loving community of friends, for my ancestors who believed in a future that would be bright, a future that would be beautiful, a future that would be free, who believed in Pamoja Tutashinga. Together, we will win. We will win when we work together. We will win justice and peace and righteousness and reciprocity when we work together. When we recognize and respect that we do have differences, but different does not make us deficient. As Reverend Dr. Jeremiah Wright said once in a NAACP keynote address, being different is not deficient. And we must learn to respect our differences and then pledge to work together to make this a better community. We must learn to live together and not create within the city of Detroit a system of apartheid. We cannot afford to do that, to create a system or a city where we're separate and unequal, where certain parts of the city are getting city services and getting good schools and getting access to healthy, nutritious foods, while other parts do not. We must learn to live together, work together, pray together, work together to make this a better city. And I believe that we can. I believe it because I believe in a beloved community, the same one that Howard Thurman taught Dr. King and Dr. King taught us, the beloved community of brother and sisterhood where we can all work together, all people, to make what we all want happen. All of us want our children to go to clean and safe learning centers where they're all counted as special. We all want to go to safe and clean grocery stores with healthy foods to eat and nourish our bodies. We want to have safe places to play and go to church and to walk and be with our families and thrive and grow. And I believe that we can do that because we have everything that we need to get where we want to go. There are people, my brothers and my sisters, in this world who share what they have. There are people who care deeply about what they do, and they make a difference in the lives of people. And because of them, each of us are better. I want to introduce my very special guest this evening, who is one such person, a very special person to me, an extraordinary talented woman, a commitment toward excellence. Her compassion can transform the atmosphere of very tense and critical situations. She's a prayer warrior and a sister friend. She is the chaplain and the head of the chaplaincy department. Is that correct? You'll tell me the title. She'll tell me the title. But she's over at the DMC, and they are lucky to have her. I've been to several events that she has created in order to make the atmosphere of work conditions there better, because not only do the people who experience trauma in their lives through sickness and disease and loss, but the people who work with them need support. And I've seen her masterfully support both those communities, the communities of people who are in need, because they are there because they are sick, because they need a healing, maybe they are in preparation for a transition through hospice. You work with the whole gamut. But when this lady enters the room, and when she gives you a hug and starts to pray and looks you in your eyes, you know that at that moment you are the only person that she's thinking of. And it's such a phenomenal thing to watch how you've transformed that center into a place of healing and love just by what you do in your ministry. So as Barry was talking earlier, I'd rather see a sermon than hear one. Here's a living sermon. She can preach too, but her living sermon is the work that's done at the DMC, and I'd like for you to share with us just a little bit about that. And this is Minister Portia Lockett.
Okay. Well, I am officially the spiritual care advisor for the DMC's Harper Hospital, Hutzel Hospital, as well as Carmanas Cancer Institute. And so with that being said, I have opportunity to minister to people on all levels, not only just the patients, but their families and staff members as well. And it's just an exciting opportunity for God to be able to utilize me, because every day is different. Every day is a new opportunity for God to put his hands upon me and say, this is the path that we're going to take today.
That is so awesome. So just describe for us a typical day. Say 3 different scenarios that you may come across in one day and how you prepare yourself to meet those challenges. And then I'll talk about some of the things that I noticed when you've entered and exited a room.
Sure. Well, there's several different things that take place throughout the day. Any given day, I can go into the surgical lounge, and that's the area where patients and their families will come prior to going into surgery for preparation. And sometimes I'll just walk the room and I'll go around to the different families and I'll introduce myself to them and I'll just say, hi, how are you today? My name is Chaplain Portia Lockett. I'm the spiritual care advisor here for the Detroit Medical Centers, Harper and Hutzel Hospital. And I just want to stop by and just say good morning and welcome to the DMC. And if there's anything whatsoever that we can do to be a blessing to you other than the surgical procedure, don't hesitate to let us know. We're here just to help you through this healing journey because we want to make sure that we're giving everyone that's there that message of hope. And I just let them know that, we're not a religious group. We just push God's love. And so if you need that or you just want a touch of that, we are here to support you during that particular session. And a lot of times people will walk up to us and just say, well, can you pray for our families? And that's just an open opportunity for me to say, absolutely. And we'll just go into prayer. And then on the flip side of that, there may be some situations after the surgery has taken place and the doctor has to deliver some news that has not been so, where they haven't been so successful with that particular family member, and the family has to make some decisions right at that very moment. And so I'll have an opportunity to join with them in prayer or join with them in just support and making some decisions and just looking at the full picture of what's the best scenario for the patient.
Amen.
Taking ourselves away from that. And then there are opportunities also to minister to a family when they've just lost a loved one or they've just received the news that mom or dad or my daughter or my son or my best friend is not going to make it and it's just a matter of time. And so we have an opportunity to go in and minister to them at that particular point as well.
That is so phenomenal because I've seen your work, because I've seen how you enter a room and it's so genuine. To hear you describe it, people still can't it's almost intangible. Like you walk into a room and you're so sincere and you touch people who are willing to be touched.
Absolutely.
You have a way of gauging if someone wants a hug. Some people are huggers.
Right.
Some people don't like to be hugged. And you respect those boundaries. So you have to have a keen sense of discernment when you enter a room and you go in. And I just notice how you ease the atmosphere because you let everybody know, look, we're all in this situation. It's tense. You may be nervous or excited. However, God is still in control.
Absolutely.
And you bring that presence of God into the room when you enter. And I noticed that, like you said, it doesn't matter the situation. You have to be prepared as a minister that's going to help that family cope. I want to give out the phone number once again. If you'd like to call in and speak with Minister Portia or myself, the phone number is 868-0342, 868-0351, or 868-4336. So if you call in, we'll answer your questions. Like I said last week, we'll get used to that part of the show. But please call in. If you may have questions on how does someone, you go to the hospital and you're not at the surgical unit when the chaplain group comes through, or when you come through. But you find yourself there, or your loved one is there, and you thought one thing, and you may feel like 3 days later, you want someone to come and pray with you. How can a person alert the nurse or someone else that, hey, I need someone to come and pray for me, and then you will have the message? How does that communication happen?
Well, on several levels. It's just a matter of just letting the nurse or the PCA or the doctor or the resident know that you would like to have spiritual care support, and they in turn will either put a consult into the system, which is like a prescription that comes immediately to my office to let me know that this patient or that family member desires to have spiritual care support, or they'll just page me. Someone is available at the hospital 24/7. Either we're there in the building the majority of the time, and sometimes we step away, but we're on call and we can come back at any given moment to be of support to that family member at that time.
That is awesome. So like a doctor.
Absolutely.
You are on call. I know sometimes when we're together, you're on call. And so that's a phenomenal thing that DMC actually has that. They should be congratulated for being concerned with not only the physical well-being of their patients, but that they have spiritual care.
Absolutely.
And like you said, I've been to the prayer room, and it honors all of the spiritual religious traditions so that no one religion is highlighted more than the other, but everyone, depending on their faith or their values, has an opportunity to go and pray. We're going to go to line 6 right now. We have a caller. Would you like to say something? Do we have a caller? Okay. Hello, you're on the air. All right, that's okay. We're still with us. You stay with us. We'll stay with you. We'll figure this part out. Now, there's other things that I wanted to highlight, and I know my time is short. When I said that you're an extraordinarily talented woman, you're a preacher, you're a minister, you marry people, you counsel people. You also have a beautiful voice. You have a CD out. Tell us about your CD and the upcoming release of the video for the CD, which is for the holiday season. Tell us about that music
We're
project.
really excited about it. It's called Happy Birthday, Jesus Christ. And it's just amazing how God just works through you when you don't anticipate being worked through. And several years ago, a good friend of mine was in the basement, and he was playing this just wonderful chords on the piano, and he was just grooving and grooving and grooving. And as he was grooving, you know, God just began to give me the lyrics to this song. I did not know at that particular time that it was going to manifest into something wonderful. And so we're just excited about it. And starting, I do believe, December the 26th, you'll be able to go on cdbaby.com and amazon.com and iTunes, purchase and download Happy Birthday, Jesus Christ. And it's Anspire featuring Portia Lockett. So I'm excited. Anspire Ministries featuring Portia Lockett. So
Awesome. Can you just sing us one line?
Oh, Lord. It was a starry night way back in Bethlehem. Following a yonder star were three wise men. Mary and Joseph were already on the road, traveling on a donkey's back like they had been told. Many awaited for this child to be born, King of kings, Lord of lords, the one we call our son. The time had come when Jesus was to be born. Mary said to Joseph, I can't travel anymore because it's time.
It's time. I love it. I love how you focus on the midwifery of the birth of Christ. You know, we have all the mystery, but you focus on the midwifery. And I remember listening to that. I believe Lumumba was mixing it down, and I was listening to it over and over, and it was just so beautiful. In fact, you wrote that several years ago.
Several years ago.
Because I think I might have been pregnant, and I thought, that is time. It's trying to get to me.
Right.
But that is awesome.
Yeah.
So, once again, ladies and gentlemen, this is Minister Portia Lockett. You can find her. You can find her touch. Even if you don't see her at the DMC, you can find the spiritual care community there that is well-trained, they're competent, they're committed, and they're there for you. Every time a family member or myself finds ourselves at the DMC, I put a text out, and I expect to see my sister, and I know she's going to be in there touching and agreeing with me.
Absolutely.
As we pray together, as we watch how God is still working in our lives as a healer. We all may have to use the hospital. We all may have to use the services of the medical profession. But it's so excellent to know that DMC has entrusted its spiritual care to someone as phenomenal as you, and you're making an impact on Detroit that is positive. And for that, we are grateful.
Amen. Thank you so much.
All right. So if you want to call in, you can call in. I think the problem is I can't tell when these lights are green or not. So I just need a little help with that. But I just wanted to introduce the community. As we started this off, Barry gave me this opportunity 3 weeks ago at the beginning of November. We started off with Minister Shamayim Shu, who's working here in Highland Park, a homework house. She feeds the homeless. She clothes the naked. She created a whole safe park for children to play because her child was struck by a driver who hit him, killed him, and kept going. And so she took her tragedy and turned it into triumph, you know, through the power of God. She took her tragedy and made it into triumph. And then we had, last week we had Reverend Bullock, Rainbow Push Coalition, the NAACP in Highland Park. And this week we have you. And so I'm just so honored to bring my friends and to show that ministry has many different forms.
Absolutely.
You know, as a minister at Fellowship Chapel, everyone knows of Reverend Anthony, and that's good. That's excellent. But there are these other tentacles out here in the community doing work that's important, that's significant, that I think should be highlighted and featured. And that's one of the other reasons. Do we have a caller? All right, let's have a caller. Caller, you may comment now. You're on the line. You're on air.
Yes, I just want to commend you, Sister Myola. This is Sister Adelia for coming forth to the public with your specialness and your spiritual power. And I really appreciate the chaplain being brought in. I studied at EPS also, and I knew that was an area where we could go in and make our way through the system and be a part of spirituality at the same time.
Yes.
So I commend both of you power brokers today. I, too, have a lot of different background skill sets in saving the community on a number of levels, and most of my life has been that way, and I've been very blessed. But I always commend the ground workers, and I really appreciate you, Mr. Berry, for bringing on the next generation of our leadership from the African Standard community. It's really kind of strange how it always takes a different level of a person to allow the power to come through. And I'll just say it like that, and y'all know and understand what I'm saying. Because the real power that comes through is a tall order for some people. They can't really handle it because it's a lot to take in.
All right.
And it's called being genuine. The genuine power of our people is in the power of the consciousness, and you all have it going on. So thank you so much for being here, and I appreciate you. I look forward to seeing your segment some more.
Thank you, sister. We appreciate you. Keep us in your prayers, and we
Yes.
are working together to make this a better community. Thank you
we
so
will
much.
do some more things. I'm always working on grants and things, but I'm always quiet, and you know, I'm always fighting a decent kind of fight, but I'm in the business arena, so it's like a little different world of battle. But we're all still battling for the same
But stay
cause,
encouraged
which is
because
right.
we need you. Stay encouraged.
Thank you so much.
All right, sis. Thank you so much for calling.
Yes.
One more caller? Okay, thank you. Oh, 1 minute. All right. Well, we thank you, sister. We appreciate you, and we appreciate everybody has something important to do. You know, everyone, and everyone's role is important. And so we thank you for that word of encouragement, because sometimes you can feel like, you know, can I go on? Can I get up another day? You know, people have so many needs, but then you hear an elder, you hear someone in the community that says, hey, sis, I've been watching you. You're doing a good job. You're doing all right. Keep on. And so for that, we are grateful. So we bless you. We bless all of our viewers. We pray that this short time that we've been blessed to have, that we can share something good, because I've always believed that we are inundated with the negative. We are inundated so much so that we can become toxic ourselves. And we have to remember that we are a beautiful people. We are intelligent people. We are talented. And our children are brilliant. And they are beautiful and bright, and we have to remind ourselves of that, and we have to start treating them like that. And we have to start raising our expectations of how we treat one another, of how we respond and react to our own children. And I bet you we can get a different result if we expect different things. What's your email, Portia, so people can contact you?
Okay. Portia Lockett 2012 at gmail.com. That's Portia, P as in Paul, ORTIA, Lockett, LOCKETT, 2012 at gmail.com.
All right. And we all know that Barry is diligent with the technology and the use of technology. So this show, as well as his show earlier today, will be posted online on his Facebook account and YouTube, and we can revisit it, and we can get the word out, and we can start showering some positive love and some positive energy. But I want you to know, if you're in DMC, and it's you or your family member, and you're not well, and you need someone to hold your hand and pray with you, then my sister, Minister Portia Lockett, is available. And she has done phenomenal things in establishing a quality spiritual care at the DMC. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. You're watching TV 33 WHPR Detroit, Highland Park.
When I was out in the world, Satan was my boss. After 35, 40 years, it wasn't nothing but a cost and a loss. I done lost everything, my house, my car, and my job. I even had to walk to the pawn shop and pawn my diamond ring. So Well, I hope that you don't mind if I ask you one more time. Come on, my Jesus, walk with me through the storm. I need you to walk with me sometimes.
The following program does not reflect the views and opinions of Channel 33, its management, or sponsors.